Shalom. Your income is not the problem. Something in your life leaks money and no amount of earning fixes it. You have felt this. The moment your paycheck arrives, it begins its departure. Not through obvious channels, not through careless spending, through something else entirely. You watch it happen month after month. The numbers in your account rise briefly, then fall to predictable levels. You increase your income by 20%, 50%, even double what you earned before. Yet somehow you find yourself in the same position 6 months later. The money came. The money left. You are exactly where you started, only more confused about why. This is not about your spending habits. This is not about your financial literacy. This is about something that operates beneath your awareness, something that determines how money moves through your life regardless of how much enters it. I am Rabbi Ezra Melech. What I will show you today operates whether you understand it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you act on it or not. This is not motivation. This is observation of a pattern that governs financial flow in ways most people never recognize. You have experienced the frustration of earning more and keeping less. You have felt the confusion of increased income leading to increased anxiety rather than increased peace. You have wondered why your financial situation feels the same despite your income being dramatically different from years past. These experiences point to something specific, something that has nothing to do with the amount of money you earn. The pattern repeats itself with mechanical precision. Money enters your life through work, through business, through investments, through any source of income. For a brief period, you feel the security of having more than you need. You see your account balance and experience temporary relief. Then something begins, not something dramatic, not something you can point to easily. A slow drainage that occurs despite your best intentions. You pay your bills. You cover your expenses. You even save money when possible. Yet the financial pressure returns. The anxiety about money resurfaces. The feeling that you do not have enough creeps back into your daily thoughts. Your income increased, but your financial stress remained constant or even intensified. This happens to people earning $30,000 per year. It happens to people earning $300,000 per year. It happens to people who receive windfalls, inheritances, bonuses, and unexpected income. The amount is irrelevant. The pattern persists across all income levels because the pattern is not determined by the amount of money entering your life. You have probably attributed this to various external factors: the economy, inflation, rising costs of living, unexpected expenses, bad timing. While these factors exist, they do not explain why people with identical incomes and identical circumstances experience completely different financial outcomes. They do not explain why some people earning less than you feel more financially secure than you do. You have likely tried different approaches to solve this. You have budgeted more carefully. You have reduced your expenses. You have increased your income through additional work or career changes. You have educated yourself about investments, saving strategies, and financial planning. Yet the fundamental experience remains unchanged. Money comes in, money goes out, and you end up in the same relative position despite all your efforts. This is where most people begin to feel frustrated with themselves. They conclude that they lack willpower. They decide they are bad with money. They believe they need more education, more income, or more time before they can achieve financial stability. They are incorrect on all counts. Most people misunderstand what losing money really means. They think it means spending too much on unnecessary items. They think it means earning too little for their desired lifestyle. They think it means lacking knowledge about proper financial management. They think it means being unlucky with timing, markets, or economic conditions. These explanations feel reasonable because they point to specific causes that seem fixable. If the problem is overspending, you can spend less. If the problem is low income, you can earn more. If the problem is lack of knowledge, you can educate yourself. If the problem is bad timing, you can wait for better conditions. These solutions provide hope because they suggest that effort in the right direction will produce different results. People who believe their financial problems stem from insufficient income work longer hours, take additional jobs, or pursue higher-paying careers. They succeed in earning more money. Their income increases by significant amounts, yet their financial experience does not improve proportionally. Sometimes it becomes worse, despite the higher income. People who believe their financial problems stem from overspending analyze every expense and eliminate everything they deem unnecessary. They create detailed budgets and track every dollar. They succeed in reducing their monthly expenses. Yet they still feel financially insecure and often find that money disappears through channels they had not anticipated. People who believe their financial problems stem from lack of knowledge study investment strategies, read financial books, and learn about money management. They become more educated about finance than most people around them. They implement sophisticated strategies for saving and investing. Yet their day-to-day financial experience remains characterized by the same underlying tension and insecurity. People who believe their financial problems stem from bad timing, wait for better market conditions, better job opportunities, or better economic circumstances. They position themselves to take advantage when conditions improve. Conditions do improve. They do take advantage. Their financial situation improves temporarily, then returns to familiar patterns. These approaches fail because they address symptoms rather than causes. They focus on the visible movement of money rather than the invisible forces that determine how money behaves in your life. They assume that money follows logical rules that can be manipulated through conscious effort and good intentions. This assumption is incorrect. Money behaves according to patterns that operate beneath conscious awareness. These patterns determine not just how much money you keep, but how money flows through your entire life experience. They determine whether financial opportunity finds you or passes you by. They determine whether unexpected expenses devastate your plans or merely inconvenience you temporarily. The underlying pattern operates like this. Money behaves like water. Water flows according to the shape of its container and the presence or absence of barriers that direct its movement. Water does not care about your intentions for it. Water does not respond to your desire for it to behave differently. Water simply follows the path of least resistance within whatever constraints exist. Money follows the same principle. It flows according to the shape of your life and the presence or absence of barriers that direct its movement. Money does not care about your intentions for it. Money does not respond to your desire for it to behave differently. Money simply follows the path of least resistance within whatever constraints exist in your life. The constraints that determine money flow are not primarily financial constraints. They are life constraints. How your time is organized, how your attention is directed, how your energy is allocated, how your relationships function, how your living space is arranged, how your daily routines operate, how your commitments are structured, how your priorities are ordered. When these aspects of your life lack clear boundaries, money flows through them without accumulating. When these aspects of your life contain gaps or inconsistencies, money finds those gaps and exits through them. When these aspects of your life conflict with each other, money gets caught in the friction and dissipates. You can increase your income dramatically, but if the shape of your life contains the same gaps and inconsistencies, money will continue to flow through those gaps regardless of how much enters. You can reduce your expenses significantly, but if the fundamental organization of your life creates friction and conflict, money will continue to dissipate in that friction regardless of how little you spend. This is why people with identical incomes experience completely different financial outcomes. Their incomes may be the same, but the shape of their lives determines how money behaves once it enters. Some people naturally create lives that contain and direct money flow. Other people naturally create lives that allow money to scatter and disappear. The people who naturally contain money flow do not necessarily understand why they are successful with money. They simply live in ways that create natural barriers to money drainage. Their time has clear boundaries. Their attention focuses on specific priorities. Their energy goes toward defined objectives. Their relationships support their overall direction, rather than pulling it in multiple directions. The people who naturally lose money flow often work much harder to earn money and think much more carefully about spending money. Yet their lives contain invisible drainage points that operate continuously regardless of their conscious efforts to manage money well. Their time gets pulled in multiple directions. Their attention scatters across competing priorities. Their energy gets absorbed by unresolved conflicts. Their relationships create ongoing financial pressure through direct or indirect demands. These drainage points operate automatically. You do not choose to lose money through them. You often do not recognize that money is being lost through them. They appear to be normal aspects of life rather than specific causes of financial leakage. Yet they determine your financial experience more than your income or your spending habits. Consider how this operates in practical terms. Your income increases by 30% through a promotion or career change. You feel financially secure for several weeks or months. Gradually, your expenses adjust upward to match your new income level, not through conscious decisions to spend more money, through a gradual expansion of what feels normal and necessary. Your new income level creates space for slightly better choices in multiple areas of your life. Slightly better food, slightly better clothing, slightly better entertainment, slightly better convenience purchases. Each individual choice seems reasonable and well within your increased budget. Collectively, they absorb most or all of your income increase. This expansion happens because your underlying relationship with money remains unchanged despite your higher income. You still feel the same underlying anxiety about not having enough. You still make purchasing decisions from the same emotional patterns that drove your spending at your previous income level. You still lack clear boundaries around what constitutes enough versus too much. The income increase provides temporary relief from financial pressure, but it does not address the patterns that created the financial pressure in the first place. Those patterns adapt to the new income level and recreate the same relative experience of financial constraint at the higher income level. This is why people often report feeling financially stressed despite earning more money than ever before in their lives. Their income increased, but their experience of financial security did not increase proportionally because the underlying patterns that determine their relationship with money remained unchanged. The same principle operates with unexpected income. Bonuses, tax refunds, gifts, windfalls, and other forms of unexpected money create temporary financial relief. This money was not planned for, so it feels like pure addition to your financial resources. You experience a brief period of feeling ahead of your normal financial situation. Then the money integrates into your regular financial flow and disappears without dramatically changing your ongoing financial experience. Not through wasteful spending, not through poor planning. Through the same patterns that govern how money moves through your life on a daily basis. You may use the unexpected money to pay down debt, which temporarily improves your financial position. Yet within months, your debt levels return to previous levels or higher, because the patterns that created the debt in the first place continue to operate. You may use the unexpected money to increase your savings, which temporarily improves your financial security. Yet within months, various expenses require you to withdraw from savings until your savings return to previous levels, because the patterns that prevented saving in the first place continue to operate. The unexpected money becomes absorbed into your normal financial flow without changing the fundamental dynamics that determine your financial experience. This is why lottery winners often end up in worse financial situations than before they won. Large amounts of money entered their lives, but their lives were not organized in ways that could contain and direct that money flow effectively. The same principle operates in reverse when people experience unexpected expenses. Major car repairs, medical bills, home repairs, or other unplanned costs create temporary financial pressure. People who live in ways that naturally contain money flow recover from these expenses relatively quickly, without long-term damage to their financial stability. People who live in ways that naturally lose money flow find that unexpected expenses create disproportionate and long-lasting financial disruption. The same unexpected expense that one person absorbs without major difficulty becomes a financial crisis for another person earning the same income. This difference does not come from having more money available to handle unexpected expenses. It comes from living in ways that allow money to accumulate naturally versus living in ways that cause money to dissipate continuously. When money accumulates naturally, reserves exist to handle unexpected demands. When money dissipates continuously, any unexpected demand creates a crisis because no reserves exist to absorb it. The consequences of this pattern extend beyond immediate financial stress. When your life consistently fails to contain money flow, opportunities begin to pass you by because you lack the financial flexibility to take advantage of them. Investment opportunities that require available cash. Business opportunities that require startup capital. Education opportunities that require tuition money. Travel opportunities that require disposable income. These opportunities appear in everyone's life periodically, but only people who have organized their lives to retain money can access them. People whose money continuously leaks away must watch opportunities pass by, not because the opportunities do not exist, but because they lack the financial resources to engage with them when they appear. This creates a compound effect over time. People who naturally retain money access opportunities that increase their income and build their wealth. People who naturally lose money miss opportunities that would increase their income and build their wealth. The gap between these two groups widens not because one group earns more initially, but because one group can take advantage of opportunities while the other group cannot. The missed opportunities create additional frustration because you can see exactly what you would need to do to improve your financial situation if only you had the money to do it. You understand how to invest. You recognize good business opportunities. You see valuable educational programs. You identify profitable strategies. Yet you cannot implement any of them because money does not stay in your life long enough to allocate toward these purposes. This creates a cycle where increased income leads to increased opportunity awareness, which leads to increased frustration about missed opportunities, which leads to increased anxiety about money despite the increased income. You earn more, You see more possibilities, yet you feel more financially constrained because your awareness of what you cannot afford grows faster than your ability to afford it. The anxiety intensifies because the problem appears to be getting worse rather than better despite your increased income. You expected earning more money to reduce financial stress. Instead, financial stress increases because your awareness of financial limitations expands faster than your financial capacity to address those limitations. This is why people often report feeling more financially anxious when their income increases rapidly. Their income grew quickly, but their ability to contain and direct that income did not develop at the same pace. More money flows through their life, but more money also leaks out of their life, often leaving them in a worse relative position despite the absolute increase in income. The pattern becomes self-reinforcing because increased financial anxiety affects decision-making in ways that create additional money drainage. Anxiety leads to impulse purchases that provide temporary emotional relief. Anxiety leads to avoidance of financial planning that would improve long-term outcomes. Anxiety leads to relationship conflicts that create additional expenses. Anxiety leads to health problems that require expensive treatment. These consequences of financial anxiety consume money beyond normal living expenses. They create additional drainage points that operate specifically because of the anxiety created by previous money loss. The more money you lose, the more anxious you become about money. The more anxious you become about money, the more money you lose through anxiety-driven decisions and behaviors. This explains why some people feel financially secure earning modest incomes while other people feel financially insecure earning high incomes. The people who feel secure have organized their lives in ways that naturally contain money and reduce anxiety. The people who feel insecure have organized their lives in ways that naturally lose money and increase anxiety. The organization of your life determines your financial experience more than the amount of money you earn. This organization includes aspects of life that most people do not associate with money management. How your physical space is arranged and maintained. How your time is allocated and protected. How your relationships support or undermine your priorities. How your daily routines create or eliminate chaos. How your commitments align or conflict with each other. When these aspects of your life support each other and create coherent patterns, money flows through your life in predictable and manageable ways. When these aspects of your life conflict with each other and create chaotic patterns, money flows through your life in unpredictable and unmanageable ways. This is why earning more never solved it. Nothing was built to hold it. Your income increased, but the fundamental architecture of your life remained designed in ways that allow money to leak continuously regardless of how much enters. Building the capacity to hold money requires understanding that money is not separate from the rest of your life. Money behavior reflects life organization. Financial problems reflect organizational problems. Financial solutions require organizational solutions. The drainage points in your life operate automatically whether you recognize them or not. They will continue to operate regardless of how much money you earn until the underlying organization of your life changes to eliminate or redirect them. This is not about willpower or financial education. This is about the basic architecture of how you live. People who naturally retain money have not necessarily studied finance or developed superior willpower. They have organized their lives in ways that create natural containers for money flow. People who naturally lose money often know more about finance and exercise more conscious effort to manage money well. yet their lives contain structural elements that override their conscious efforts. Understanding this distinction changes how you approach financial improvement. Instead of focusing primarily on earning more or spending less, you begin to examine how the fundamental organization of your life creates or eliminates conditions for money retention. Instead of treating money as a separate domain that requires specialized knowledge, you recognize money as one aspect of overall life organization that reflects the quality of boundaries, priorities, and coherence in your daily existence. This understanding explains why people with identical incomes and identical financial knowledge experience completely different financial outcomes. Their incomes and knowledge may be the same, but the underlying organization of their lives creates different conditions for money flow. The people who succeed financially have not necessarily earned more money or learned more about money management. They have created life conditions that naturally support money retention and reduce money drainage. These conditions operate continuously without requiring conscious effort or constant attention. The people who struggle financially often work much harder to earn money and study much more about money management. Yet their life conditions continue to create money drainage that operates faster than their money earning. Their conscious efforts to improve their financial situation conflict with unconscious patterns in their life organization that undermine financial stability. This conflict creates exhaustion and frustration because increased effort produces diminished returns. You work harder to earn more money, but the additional money disappears through the same patterns that consumed your previous income. You study more about financial management, but your improved knowledge cannot overcome the structural elements in your life that create continuous money loss. The solution is not more effort or more knowledge. The solution is different life organization that naturally supports money retention rather than money drainage. This requires examining aspects of your life that you may not currently associate with financial outcomes. Yet these aspects determine your financial experience more than traditional financial factors. If this brought clarity, subscribe, not for motivation, but for understanding.